Hello everyone and welcome to a new Warcraft 3 replay commentary. Today we're going to take a look at a match played in November of 2008. It was part of the Nice Game TV League and a battle between two Koreans with the better known player spawning down here in the bottom left corner in yellow. It is SocceR, the nightelf, starting with an altar first here, and his opponent in the top left corner is Myth. One of the few Korean human players that could actually compete on a somewhat high level in Warcraft 3. Not to be mistaken, of course, for the former 4K Myth, who was also a human player, but from the Netherlands. And about this Myth, there isn't too much to say. The only big team outside of LOF he ever played for was BET in early 2008. And the only notable one-on-one competitions in which he ever took part were the two Nice Game TV seasons in 2008. And eventually, like so many others, he moved on and tried his luck in StarCraft 2. So interestingly here, he is not going for the power build on his Altar of Kings. So his first hero, which is going to be the AM, is going to spawn at about the same time as SocceR's first hero, which is going to be the Warden, and that's not going to come as a surprise to his opponent, because even though this game was played before SocceR peaked, at this time already he definitely was known for almost exclusively playing the Warden in the nightelf versus human matchup. And yeah, with that Warden, he likely is gonna want to start doing some creeping. The Ancient of War quite far away from these guys, but very close to the forest to eventually eat through here and do some further creeping. But interestingly, Myth has scouted with two militia at the same time, has found his opponent's main base already, of course, and he's sending the first footman out towards the bottom as well. So it looks like there's not going to be any too ambitious creeping early on from Myth, as he hardly has any units available to do so currently. The first archer and first footman have seen each other, and SocceR, realizing what the situation is, has not started his first creep camp here, so neither of the players attempting to get any experience. Looks like Myth wanted to go for some creep checking here, but seeing that the Warden is not going to creep, he's turning around with the AM, with the footman. Looks like he's just gonna gather a couple more units before starting to do anything. First Shadow Strike cast by the Warden here. I'm guessing this footman isn't gonna be in any serious danger anytime soon, nevertheless. SocceR in the meantime getting another unit here, the first row Shadow Priest, perhaps for a bit of healing on the Warden if she wants to get aggressive, and of course for a bit of dispel against the AM here. Interesting, by the way, the AM hasn't spent a single, hasn't casted a single water emetal here. Very conservative with his mana. And on the contrary, the Warden with two Shadow Strikes already, very liberal with those, just pouncing out some damage. Keep in mind, this is 1.22, so back then Shadow Strike did cost 65 mana, not 75 as it does these days. So some aggression from SocceR here, perhaps going to be able to cancel the farm. Myth reacting quickly though, pulling a bunch of militia, preventing the farm from getting cancelled. It is farm number 4, which very much points towards no tech anytime soon by the human player. Yeah, Warden just stays close, really wants to win as much time here against Myth as possible. And now he's spawning the first water metal, very much pointing towards the fact that he wants to get that cooldown. We're going to get that cooldown over to cast another water metal, perhaps to eventually, perhaps to have two available when he wants to creep his expansion. But while I'm talking here about strategy, SocceR wanted to desperately cast another Shadow Strike here onto the AM, and he did take a lot of damage for it. He delayed Myth a little bit further. In the meantime, did also get the first 42 experience on the Warden here by dispelling the water metal. But okay, looks like another Shadow Strike, maybe. No Shadow Strike. And keep in mind, there is no reveal available since this one hasn't been crapped and the AM hasn't been to a shop yet. But I mean, the Warden has taken so much damage, down to about 60, 70 HP already, and how the hell is she supposed to even inconvenience the human player in creeping this camp here? SocceR, it looks like he's just entirely retreating, and yeah, even though Myth has been delayed a little bit, this looks like a pretty pleasant early game for him. SocceR is in the meantime adding a second Ancient of War down here to accelerate his creeping, and his Warden desperately needs some experience here. in order to yeah, withstand the pressure that he's likely gonna face soon, because I mean, his Warden is pretty low. What's he waiting for here? The Boots of Speed. His Warden is pretty low, and well, there isn't really any harassment potential at all currently, with the Warden only being level 1. Okay, this Ancient of War uprooting here. Creeping finally begins for SocceR, who is soon to finish tier 2. Hunter's Hall is finishing in time. Warden is heading back to the base, probably to heal up. And yeah, Myth is not wasting any time, maybe wasting a bit of resources here by going for 2 towers. I think 1 would have done it easily as well, as I just said, there isn't really any harassment potential on the side of SocceR. And look at this, it looks like Myth might just miss it. No, Myth is seeing it, and is he going for the main, or is he going for the creep jack? Looks like he's going for the creep jack, stealing one of the Forest Troll trappers here. Ancient of War has to retreat, and immediately the surround on the Warden is closed. Still no means of revealing here though on the AM. Detonates coming in. Is he going to be able to keep the surround closed? No, the Warden is barely squeezing out. A huge load of footmen here are easily going to be able to chase these 4 ranged units away. The Warden putting a bit of pressure onto the AM. Even though she's got the boots, I don't think she can afford to just chase him all the way across the map, and that's why she's retreating right now. AM, yeah, is gonna stay close as well. Sees the Ancient of War here, and yeah, now knows, of course, about SocceR's future endeavors, at least his planned future endeavors. We'll see what he's gonna end up going for. But yeah, the Warden is still not even level 2. The only upside here is for SocceR that this has not been crapped yet. A tower is coming here, the 2 towers are up here, and therefore the tech of Myth is gonna take a long time. So SocceR still has a window of opportunity to get stuff done. Wow, it looks like, wow, this just looks like a very, very unlucky AI trigger here. The Null running across to the creeping nightelf without being attacked, and the human is coming from the back. As I just said, he knows, of course, about this plan of SocceR, and now he's gonna try and punish that. 1 archer has already fallen. The Forest Troll Shadow Priest is sneaking into the back. Warden casts another Shadow Strike onto the AM, but he's got the boots now. He is safe, and the second Ancient of War is gonna fall as well. So Myth, where's the AM? Myth is continuing his very, very promising early game here. AM is now on the run. And okay, the Warden's got plenty of mana, might be able to force the Scroll of Town Portal here eventually. Some more damage dealt by these footmen. SocceR is getting a Tree of Life in the meantime. Gets the Panda second, needs to make sure not to get that one surrounded, but looks like Myth, okay, now Myth is going for it, but SocceR is paying attention. AM in the meantime is being chased here, and he's gonna have to use the Town Portal by the looks of it, and yeah, he's waiting until the very last moment, dodges the Shadow Strike. With the Town Portal, the footmen have to retreat. Looks like, did none of them fall? Maybe not. Panda did deal a ton of damage here. AM, the Town Portal to the expansion. There actually is no shop finished yet for him, so AM needs to pay attention here not to get caught by the Warden, but he did retreat in time, realizing that the nightelf was going to come in from the bottom. And, well, for now, Myth is just going to have to sit tight. 1 tower is finished currently. Panda and Warden both don't really have a huge load of mana. The expansion is soon to finish here. Ancients of Lore have finished on the side of SocceR in the meantime. So it looks like Dried production is gonna start soon. But yeah, for the time being, Myth has done a pretty good job. Warden is blinking in just to cancel some stuff on the AM. Okay, these footmen, I guess, are gonna eventually join up with the first hero to get that regeneration going. And yeah, what's the plan for SocceR? He's getting the counter expansion, but he is waiting very, very long here with his tier 3 tech. Hasn't even started yet, so he's gonna have very, very good map presence. One is getting surrounded here again, and she doesn't have mana for blink. So is he gonna use the Invo Potion? No, okay, makes sense. Would likely not have been able to fight out of there anyways. Panda is getting some experience as well. Rune Braces, well, yeah, there might be a Mountain King second since we don't have a Demon Hunter here. Well, since we don't have a Demon Hunter here, there's likely gonna be a Mountain King second, like, let me put it like that. Therefore, the Rune Braces might not be the worst item in the world for the Night Elf. What I was getting at is, he's still not going tier 3. He's gonna have such a great map presence with a ton of Drieds, and as soon as Myth will be found by this Night Elf army, he's gonna be in huge trouble, and he's gonna have to retreat. Very unlikely that he's going to be able to take a fight soon, but if he is given the time to produce like an 80 supply, well-rounded tier 2 army, then SocceR should be struggling. Again, the Null Overseer taking part here in the action, but I think this time the Dryad did pull him, and this time these guys are being crept intentionally by SocceR, who is closing in on double level 3. The Warden just coming in very, very quickly to get level up. The Tree of Life is waiting at the expansion already as well, so finally some smooth sailing for SocceR, who even though his early game wasn't exactly the greatest, you know, is at least getting some decent leveling done on his first and second hero. Mountain King is out right now. And yeah, we do have double Arcane Sanctum and a Workshop as expected here by Myth, who is gonna have to sit back, I believe, and just take this slowly and go for a... with SocceR still being on tier 2, I think he can just wait and even go for an 80 supply push here, because there's no reason to rush anything if there are no bears there. But I think Myth might not be aware of this. I mean, okay, obviously hasn't seen a tier 3 tech because there is no tier 3 tech, but I'm assuming he is expecting his opponent to go for a quick and greedy tier 3. And I'm saying that he's probably not aware of this because... okay, Zeppelin is coming in by SocceR. He's probably not aware of this because he has broken upkeep pretty much immediately once his tier 2 building is finished. And, well, had he known that SocceR is still only on tier 2, there would be no reason to break into upkeep so early. So the fight is beginning. The Dryads are marching forward against the Mud Golem. I guess the casters will be the first targets here. I don't think it is Myth's time to fight it. He does have a Town Portal on the AM, but he decides to fight nevertheless Mortar Team. The only real significant damage output against this Dryads has fallen already, and all of the casters have gone down already as well. A perfect little hit by SocceR here, and I believe this should be his time to leave the fight. Panda is coming in finally as well. Breath of Fire gets rid of the Forest Troll Berserker. All of the Dryads are slowly taking more and more damage though. Warden is blinking back, just use the heal scroll, and well, Casual Periapt is lying there on the ground, but the Panda picks it up before the bolt hits, and SocceR is probably overstaying his welcome here. Yeah, 2-3 more Dryads are falling due to the new Mortar Team, and SocceR definitely staying in this fight for too long. Another Dryad is falling here, and finally the Town Portal is being pulled by Myth. And at the end of this fight, well, still a success for SocceR, definitely, but I believe it could have been a lot better even. He started trading, well, almost nothing here. Oh, interesting little circle there. He started trading basically almost nothing for the Mud Golem, the first Mortar Team, and the casters. And then at the end it was Defend Footman against Dryads, and I think, let's see, yeah, he is going tier 3 finally. I think had he just left the fight there, well, all the valuable units of Myth were already gone, and he would have had a decent supply edge, or at least equal supply. Myth is still ahead by a little bit, and is now of course producing valuable units pretty much only. SocceR with the nicely placed Zeppelin there sees where his opponent's at. But nevertheless, of course, this fight has killed any timing that Myth may have had available, and therefore the human player is just gonna have to sit back, take things more slowly. I mean, if he pushes now, for example, the heroes of the nightelf would just destroy him. Warden level 4.5, Panda level 4. So yeah, this takes the game into, probably is gonna take the game into somewhat slower waters. The Mortar Team here shouldn't be in any serious danger with the priests being right next to it. Warden getting slowed, uses Blink, and the Zeppelin is there to pick her up, drop her again. Well, this is interesting. Is SocceR gonna come in here for the creep check? I mean, this army isn't looking so terrible on the side of Myth. The Warden is getting slowed again. Is getting dispelled though, blinks out, and well, Master isn't ready, but SocceR, I don't think he wants to fight on the open field right now. But I don't really think, unless Myth starts this creep camp, I don't think that SocceR should be able to do anything here. Adept, of course, still on the Bears, tier 3, not even finished just yet. He's just trying to win some time here, but I think Myth is just calling his bluff, and I think he should just be able to start creeping here if he wanted to. Zeppelin is still floating around here, but yeah, SocceR is retreating. Myth is taking the creep camp here at a solid 78 supply against 57. Yeah, as I said, SocceR not really in a position to fight here. He's getting the Tome of Retraining, another Heat Scroll, so we're gonna see Fan of Knives and Breath of Fire in combination here. Tier 3 has finished, Master is coming, and once that is done, I think SocceR is gonna be much more inclined to a fight. Militia are being pulled towards the middle here. I'm not quite sure what the idea with that is. We're clearly not seeing a fight here, with the human army being placed completely elsewhere. Warden with the invisibility potion. Yeah, is getting ready here. Human army very fast stretched out. SocceR is getting ready and he is going to the shop. He wants to buy scrolls, but this is a terrible position. Warden is coming in with a Fan of Knives, and immediately the Scroll of Town Portal has to be pulled by the human player, and nevertheless he's still losing 2 mortar teams here. The rest of the army is retreating. Is he gonna get a shot out on that mortar team with one of the Dryads? Perhaps a Shadow Strike to slow. Never mind, Shadow Strike isn't available anymore, of course. But nevertheless, the mortar team is falling here. In 3 mortar teams, that is a significant dip in damage output by the human player, and he's gonna have to consolidate here. Even though he's still at 72 supply, it's only 2 mortar teams right now. And at the bottom of the map, we see a bunch of towers being built, so that's what these militia were there for. Of course, nowhere near the range, the vision range of these Night Elf buildings. Warden with another invisibility potion is keeping track of the human army, sees where that one is, and the Night Elf army, by the looks of it, is coming in for another creep check. New town portal has been bought by Myth already. The Warden using her Shadow Strike here, her Fan of Knives here quite quickly, and again, town portal has to be used. The bolt, well, dodged nicely here. The Warden, okay, wanted to blink forward there to steal the creep and perhaps the item, didn't get either of them. So that was a big invo potion, that was a big investment, and given that he wasn't successful in stealing either the XP or the item, which by the way was, what was it? Here, the Pendant of Mana on the Mountain King, that investment may not have been worth it. And a very interesting playstyle here, by the way, by SocceR. I mean, look at it, the Panda is creeping up towards level 5, and the Warden, again with an Invis potion, is always keeping track of the human's army. And so far he's done a pretty good job with it. He's forced a total of 3 town portals, if I count it correctly. Panda is... okay, has to drop the circlet here just because he's got such a bunch of good items. But just as I say it, maybe the Warden may have done a pretty critical mistake here. Keep in mind, she doesn't have a staff of teleportation, and as she walked up this path towards the expansion, the human has walked down here towards the expansion of the Night Elf, and the Panda doesn't have a town portal, and the Warden doesn't have a staff either, and SocceR has no clue of where the human army is at, and he has no clue of this bunch of towers. So let's see, is he gonna creep here or is he gonna retreat? Because he has to know that the human army is somewhere, not at the expansion, not at the main, because he has just basically eliminated those options, and now he knows about what's up. But the Warden is totally mispositioned. The Panda has started to creep here. I mean, he's gonna get level 5, which is great, but he's gonna lose his expansion, and that's, well, terrible to say the least. Now down, of course, to only his main, which isn't gonna run forever either. And Myth, yeah, just starts towering up here. Perhaps, yeah, trying to get a second expansion into play. Towers are soon to finish. The Warden is, yeah, seeing what's happening here, has to retreat for the moment. Meanwhile, the rest of SocceR's army is moving towards the middle here. And the question is, can Myth hold this position? And I have some doubts. Okay, looks like he's getting another... he wanted to get another heat scroll, but SocceR is there. And with 1 heat scroll only against double level 5 Night Elf heroes, this is going to be very, very tough to hold. Maybe he should just fall back and defend down here, where he also doesn't have a lot of towers. He's going for the town hall down here. But okay, we'll see. Maybe he's just going to do amazingly well and prove me wrong. Warden is coming in for the first Fan of Knives immo potion, used here quite quickly. The Fairy Dragons in a decent position. Breath of Fire is coming in as well. The only heal scroll has just been used. The next Fan of Knives is doing so much damage. Bolt on the Warden, well, a little bit late. And Myth has to Town Portal out of there, losing 2 more bears in the, excuse me, 2 more mortar teams, of course, in the process. And yeah, that was not at all the fight that Myth needed here. Down to 60 supply. He's gonna have to rebuy heal scrolls, of course. And is he gonna be able to hold this expansion? Doubtful. He's got 1 Arcane Tower here. I mean, that's not exactly significant. The Wisp, I believe, has just scouted that this expansion is up. And SocceR, is he turning towards the bottom? I think he should. Okay, new expansion attempt is gonna be cancelled here. New expansion attempt up here is coming as well, though. So SocceR working on his economic situation. The mains should be running out soon. Yeah, about 20 seconds left right now. Except here there should be a little bit more because the one harassed early on. And yeah, SocceR is really taking his time here. Another Invis potion on the Warden. Picks up those boots of... doesn't she pick up these boots? Thought she maybe wanted to, but looks like he just... yeah, wanted to scout there. The Panda apparently had to drop those boots to pick up the Gem of Health. Mountain King is doing some more creeping as well. And yeah, there's the counterattack against the second expansion. I think this is way under-defended. No way in hell that Myth can hold this expansion. He doesn't have a single heal scroll currently. And Town Portaling in here with the entire army clumped up would be a horrible idea, given the AoE that SocceR has available currently. So Myth isn't doing that. It looks like he's just going to let this expansion go down. And then we're going to be back to 1 running mine against, well, somewhat soon, another running mine. Main has also uprooted, no Nature's Blessing, so this one is going to take a while in marching down to the Night Elf's natural expansion. Maybe he just now realized that there's this bunch of towers, which I think is... did he just reveal here by any chance? Yeah, he did reveal there at some point recently. What I was getting at is this might be worth taking down as long as SocceR does have the time, because he's gonna get the expansion here, and this could be a very nasty outpost to basically deal with the human just sitting there and working with hit and runs and mortar teams and slow, etc. But SocceR has different priorities here, and I think he misread the situation. He recently, of course, noticed Myth cancelling the expansion up here, and I believe what he read into this was the human player going for his own second expansion up there again. SocceR did head there with his entire army, but realizing that there's nothing happening up here, he turns around. Did he buy anything new? Just a new Invis potion on the Warden. I think that's like Invis potion number 4 or 5. So yeah, he's not holding back with those. And he still doesn't have a Scroll of Town Portal. And now he's finally getting ready to get rid of these towers, but at a very, very high cost. The expansion has just started running here, is not even gonna pay for itself, and is gonna be taken down once again. So SocceR, yeah, is making things quite hard for himself here. I mean, okay, the next source of gold income will be established soon. But at the same time, there's no tree here anymore to Town Portal to, even if he had one. And his entire army is out of position. The vulnerable units are just now being brought into the attack against those towers. But while he's getting rid of this outpost, I mean, his entire main is gonna get wrecked. He is at 59 out of 70 currently, but he's gonna lose a bunch of Moonwells and maybe even his lores. So the production is gonna be severely crippled. At the same time, about 3 minutes more for the expansion here, or for Myth, and it for the moment doesn't look like he's planning on getting a new one. The one with a Fan of Knives here doing a bit of damage against the mortar teams. 2 heal scrolls are available for the human. But the Warden and Panda both closing in on level 6. Next Invis potion. Warden really not holding back, is getting revealed though by the mortar teams. Doesn't stop SocceR from dodging the bolt though. Next Fan of Knives does come in, next Breath of Fire, not really hitting a lot. But the Warden is level 6 nevertheless. And yeah, let's look at what's left here. Altar, Shop, 1 Moonwell, and an Ancient of Lore. SocceR is at 59 out of 20 supply. The expansion is running. The expansion is somewhat running. Wow, and I believe he only has these 3 wisps, as far as I can tell. These are bears. Yeah, he has 3 wisps and he is at 59 out of 20 supply. So the question is, does he start building Moonwells here? Or does he just invest the income with the 3 wisps into, yeah, items probably? Because if he starts building Moonwells and mines only with 2 wisps, this is gonna take forever. At the same time, only 1,000 gold left in here. So things are getting a little bit tense. Anti-magic potion bought by the Warden. Yeah, casual blink here for the tome. And did she? Okay, she eventually picked up the Boots of Kel'Thalas, as you can see. Okay, some scouting with a fairy dragon here. But yeah, SocceR still at 59 supply, of course. Still 2 heal scrolls, I imagine. Yeah, another Invis potion. Against 80 supply on the side of Myth, who has also 2 heal scrolls. And looks like Myth might just wait for his expansion to run out before spending his last bit of money, perhaps even going into a high upkeep, which of course then isn't gonna matter anymore. And SocceR is getting ready to take a fight down here by the looks of it. In the somewhat wide open area. Of course, the Dryads are gonna have to move forward against those mortar teams. 5 are available for Myth. So quite some damage output there. No upgrades on those. 2-1 upgrades on the breakers. Same time, 1-1 upgrades on all of the Night Elf units. And yeah, SocceR is building Moonwells here, so he has to hold somehow and then, well, come back into the game via his expansion. Just uses 1 Dryad here to do some scouting. Of course, it would be very, very fatal if he missed another expansion attempt by Myth and just allowed him to stay in the game that way. But now Militia are being pulled. It's 83 supply against 59. And both are getting ready for the fight. So Militia being sent forward. The mortar teams, 6 of them in total, are getting a Fan of Knives here immediately. Anti-magic potion used by the Warden. Dispelled quickly. Both should land any second. That's exactly what's happening. Panda is reaching level 6 as well. Using the ultimate immediately. The Warden has to blink back. No staff available right now on SocceR as the Panda is using the ultimate. No units, as far as I can tell, fallen just yet for the human. Looks like the breaker here is going to be the first one. Ultimate used by the Warden as well. The Mountain King is flying currently. Myth is doing his best job trying to kite here. The Bears pushing forward. Another Cyclone onto the Mountain King. Another Mortar team is going to fall here. These are a little bit mispositioned. Falling back as well. Surround on the Mountain King. But with the damage output of the Mortar teams, he can never hold that. So releasing the surround there immediately. But Myth is doing a really good job with the Mortar teams here, keeping the damage up. Look at how much damage the entire Night Elf army has taken. And Myth still is in the game. Bolt on the Panda right now as the ultimate is over. MK has to retreat. At the same time, the Spirits of Vengeance are doing a tremendous job for the Night Elf player. But look at the Panda being chased here. He doesn't have boots. The Mountain King does have boots. And is the Warden around to staff? Well, the Warden doesn't have the staff, so this Panda is gonna get surrounded. The staff is gonna have to be passed onto the Warden if she wants to save this Panda. It looks like that's the plan here. Is he gonna get it? The Warden is closing in, but the bolt on the Warden prevents her from getting any closer to the Panda, and now she's in trouble as well, has to blink out. Level 6 Panda has fallen here. At the same time, the Spirits of Vengeance taking down weak human unit after weak human unit, and wow, 3 more Dryads here. Fallen for free pretty much. SocceR, yeah, didn't react with those in time, and the Fairy Dragon is, well, now being pulled back, but Myth is securing the kill here. Keep in mind, Myth is out of gold income right now. He's at 51 supply, bunch of low HP stuff is part of his army, but at the same time, SocceR, who does have gold income, who now finally can produce again because he just lost so many units, yeah, SocceR needs to just wear down this army slowly but steadily. There is there no sorceress here anymore? No slow anymore? No, 2 more sorcerers are coming from the expansion of Myth. Perhaps his last reinforcements in this game. And the altar is going to be taken down. Panda gets cancelled here pretty much immediately. And are the Sorcs going to be caught off guard on the map? Slow is being cast onto the Warden. No, she does have some mana. Doesn't dare to go for the Blink and Fan of Knives combo though. Mountain King is there to defend these Sorcs. Warden is blinking away, even using the anti-magic potion. Extremely careful here. And sold something in order to get that Panda back. I think it was probably only the Boots of Kel'Thalas. Okay, so the Panda is back. The Bears are going to be able to cast a bit of Rejuvenation. The Warden has some mana here. But the attack is, of course, coming against the Night Elf's Tree of Eternity. 4 mortar teams still available. Warden is blinking in. Wanted to dodge the Shadow Strike there with Shadow Melt. Excuse me, wanted to dodge the bolt there with Shadow Melt, of course. But that didn't work out. And there is still Blink cooldown on the Blink by the looks of it. Rejuvenation is coming in. So is Bolt. Can he steal the Rejuvenation? Yes, he does so. Is there another Blink available? No. And that's double level up for the human. Level 6 on the AM with plus 24 damage, by the way. And level 5 on the Mountain King, and there is nowhere left to run for these bears, so yeah, he's gonna have to fight here if Myth were to force him, but it looks like Myth has different intentions, wants to save his mortar teams, which were caught off guard a little bit by the Panda, who did get 2 kills there, is on the run right now. The Mountain King with a bolt. Well, this should trigger the ultimate, I think, because there's no other way out for this Panda. He's gonna have to use it before dropping under 150 mana with, or due to those Breakers mana burn. And he does just that. First of the Elementals is already taking some damage. In the meantime, the Mortar teams are trying to run away from those bears, and as long as these are slowed, that should be working out somewhat successfully. But I believe the last Sorceress has just fallen, so no more slow available on the side of the human player. The Mortars are running extremely low, but only 1 Panda Elemental is left standing here, which is the Earth Elemental, the tankiest one. Still, I think the better choice here would have been to throw the bolt onto that Earth Elemental instead of onto one of the bears. Looks like he might just get away here. Yeah, the duration is over, and there is really almost nothing left standing on the side of SocceR. He was able to rebuy the Warden though, using Clarity Potion here, using the ultimate again, and he's gonna desperately try and get a couple of corpses revived. One of them is on the field already. Warden in the meantime did dodge another bolt with the Blink. But the Mortar teams, only 2 of them left standing, continue working against the Tree of Eternity. There is 22 supply only left for SocceR against 39 still for Myth. The Panda wanted to cast a Breath of Fire here, did cancel by a bash, I believe. And the last bear is about to fall. The Panda again doesn't get the Breath of Fire in, and now the staff is gonna have to be passed onto the Warden. She's using it just in time. 40 HP on the Panda using the Moonball, but I think this is walled off, so there's nowhere to go for the Panda except for the middle of the human army, and of course he's not welcome there. Gets killed. The Warden gets killed as well. Level 6 on the Mountain King, using the ultimate there, I guess just for style purposes. And while the Avatar is able to get rid of the last Mortar teams and perhaps even another Breaker or 2, the main is gonna fall, and there's only 180 gold on the side of SocceR. That's not gonna be enough to revive either of these heroes. And in the end, Myth with his 2 heroes, a Priest and 4 Breakers by the looks of it, is taking the game. Pretty chaotic there towards the end. Well, let's start from the beginning. SocceR with a not particularly inspired start, I'd dare say. Yeah, trying to deal some damage over time there against the AM with a bunch of Shadow Strikes, but it was his first hero that ended up taking way too much damage. He was forced to retreat already before Myth even started creeping his expansion. And then after that, even though Myth was able to delay SocceR for a bit, given the fact that Myth's tech was very late as well, because he didn't have a shredder and because his expansion was delayed a bit as well. SocceR was able to get some leveling done on his heroes, and I thought Myth would have had a very promising position had he realized that SocceR did stay on tier 2 for such a long time. I believe the better approach of Myth would have been to sit at 50 for a little bit, and had SocceR then gone for tier 3 more quickly, Myth could have still broken into low upkeep. But had SocceR just stayed on a lot of Dryades, I think Myth would have been fine with a big 80 supply, well-prepared army where the mortar teams and casters would have been well protected. He decided not to go for that though. We did see that fight with Myth with about 60 supply, losing most of his significant units, most of his tier 2 units at that point against a bunch of Dryades, basically killing his tier 2 timing. And the game went into different direction. Went into very late game stage where I wanted to just basically praise SocceR for how well he was doing with the map control with only his Warden and the invisibility potions, and how well he was basically dealing with the early loss of the town portal, and how he was managing to control the map without rebuying that. But just as I was saying that, he was basically missing the human army, moving towards his expansion, didn't carry a town portal, lost his expansion, and then he was under a lot of pressure. I think had his heroes not reached those very high levels, the game would have been a lot more difficult for him, but he did get double level 6 eventually. We saw some pretty intense fights there. And towards the end, Myth, without any gold income, with only a couple units left standing, was able to seal the deal there. Of course, couple of mistakes in those fights, especially Myth with the bold not going for the final Storm, Earth and Fire elemental, or for the Earth elemental, was a bit of a head scratcher. Nevertheless, a very enjoyable game. I hope it was pleasant for you guys as well. As always, feel free to leave comments and thumbs up if you want to, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And I'll see you soon for another commentary. Take care.